hope alive.
Seems to be to me. Hello, everybody.
I'm hoping everyone can hear us.
Maybe I should turn my volume on. Yes.
Mad.
Okay, hello, everyone.
Hello. We're in a different area. We're not behind us.
You can see where we usually are.
Exactly.
But we're not there right now. We discussed this on... There is a giant mosquito right there. He's now dead. We discussed this on Friday. We're going to be starting off Soulforge, the segment that I'm going to be running on my own, building characters, and just putting something that I do anyway on camera.
Yeah. And I am here for this episode because this is not an episode where we build a character. This is an episode where we understand the format we're going to be moving forward with it.
Yes.
So we're on my computer currently, which does everything else for the stream. And this is where we're going to build the template that he can take home, and he can just basically build it himself.
Yeah. And just rebuild it on my own computer.
Yeah.
Because I'll be doing this at home, just in my free time, and while I'm already sitting at home, being bored, building characters, and
Pretty much.
having to come and check if things are okay.
Yes. So, we're going to... Yeah, we didn't stream last week because my new job has a lot of like heavy lifting. Also, I didn't want to find out if I lost that coin flip. Actually,
No, you can't do it. If you do it now,
yeah,
you admit that if I win it, then I get to do it next week.
Sure.
There's no like,
yeah,
you would have gotten it.
sure.
Cool.
The coin.
Yeah.
All right. Another neat way someone actually suggested is that we actually rolled for initiative.
No, I'm bad at rolling dice.
Okay.
Alright.
Heads or tails?
Heads. There, we got it.
So
Next week,
heads or
boys.
fixed. So
Let's
next
do
week is Jacob's subject. Finally,
I've been sitting on it for like 3 weeks.
I'm running out of subjects quickly
Yes.
because I've just won so many times.
Yes. All of the
Alrighty.
time since we started doing this.
Exactly. So we're going to move over into the format that we put together about 10 minutes ago,
Yes.
and hopefully it works and it doesn't look like crap.
We will soon find out. There we are.
Yes.
Looking pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, let's figure this out, shall we? So, we already spoke of like a wheel aspect.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do still like the wheel. I do think I still want to do it, but it's just not going to be all built live in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I spent 6.5 hours on Saturday trying to get the specifics of a character down, so I don't think that that's going to make a very good content, and it's just going to be way too many jump cuts between things. So it's just going to come up looking really horrible.
Yeah. So, instead, you're going to make it like an actual video.
Yeah, so I'm going to build the character and then run through how to progress the character, like at least the way that I see it. And just go level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, up to whatever I decide to stop, wherever like the entirety of the build comes online. So like, for example, the one that I was spending 6.5 hours on is level 8. It's a druid build, but I need a fly speed. And I was just trying to figure out a way if I could, like, using the jump spell plus specific animals and like try and get high enough to get enough distance for what I was trying to do without flying, and it's just not possible.
So, we've got to figure out what to type in here to figure out what wheel. So, what do you think a wheel would be called?
I literally just searched Wheel of Fortune wheel.
You found one.
Yeah. It was just an initial one, but like, and then Wheel of Decide, yeah, Wheel of Fortune. Oh, that's .com. Yeah, Wheel of Decide. There you go. So this kind of thing here, so you can change stuff on them usually. Maybe not this one.
It's a category one.
Yeah. Yeah. Wheeloffortune.com, maybe? Yes, no.
Edit wheel.
There you go. There you go.
That's
So you can edit the wheel like that.
edit this wheel. Alright.
Here we go. And then basically just
So
backspace, and then we just start typing in. Let's see how it does it in the book so we don't miss any.
because what we're gonna do is when we do them live, it will be him doing like a live stream of it, and you guys will like put in stuff. We might do
Yeah.
like little competitions where your actual opinion ends up on the wheel.
Yeah, so we're going to start it off with just like the base classes. So Barbarian,
B
Arin.
I N.
Yep. Bard,
Yeah. So, but
Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue, Sorcerer,
sorcerer gives me a
Sorcerer,
Mhm.
Warlock, and Wizard. So,
you don't want to do them subclassed.
I feel like adding subclass can come in later. We're gonna overload the wheel otherwise.
No, it doesn't matter. It still tells us. Because now, what we do is we click it,
And
and
then
it'll
we
come up with a
land on what we're gonna build.
Hmm.
It's
Wow,
gonna be
this
something I
goes
haven't
forever.
built before, isn't it? No, it's not. It's going to be my class, the Warlock.
Theme.
So, I mean, this will be something that I think the wheel is something that I can kind of really fine tune later.
View full screen.
Maybe.
Log in.
Ah,
I guess you can like do something about it. I guess
yeah,
later when you figure out if this is the one that you're gonna do.
that's it. But it's going to be this kind of a format for figuring out what I'm going to be doing, just so that I'm not staying within comfort zones or trying to go, okay, which one have I done? Which one haven't I done? I can do it this way for a little bit and kind of work through a majority of classes and subclasses. The plan is to remove something from the wheel once it's been done. And yeah, I just nearly dropped the PHP off of the table.
Yeah.
But this way I can keep track of what I've done without having to go back between all the videos that have come out and be like, oh, okay, I've done Warlock Wizard subclass already, so I'll do that here.
Do you know what you could also do? This sounds mad.
Yeah.
Because you've got the first wheel, and then when you scroll down, you have a second wheel.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a wheel.
For the subclass.
No, not for the subclass. Oh, you could do it.
Sorry, the multi-class.
Not the multi-class. Oh, you could do that too.
Mm.
But it could be a wheel that gives you a condition you're not allowed to do, like a condition you have to follow.
Yeah? Like what though?
Dex build, strength build.
Nah, that's horrible.
Or
imagine getting like
what it could be is so in building this, because right now you have free range to do what you want with the class it is.
yes.
But for instance, one of it can be like feats only.
Okay. So no ASIs.
No ASIs.
Yeah, okay. ASIs only.
Yep. So ASI is ability score improvement.
Yep. Which
Yeah.
is where you can put 2 points into your base statistics to increase them, allow your
minimum HP.
min HP, max HP.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
So that way that you have to build it in a way that's defensive that you don't die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like you could have a minimum HP barbarian, and like you're sitting there like, okay, it's 1 plus my con on every level up. Let's try and get this as tanky as possible, which is where I guess you end up going into your very specific, your very tried and true bear totem barbarian. So you're taking half damage from everything. You're like, okay, I just can't afford to be.
But imagine if you're you pick like fighter, bare minimum health.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to make sure there's a way that you can kind of counteract that.
Yeah.
So that way you would
like
have
moving
to use
into
speed.
well, from there you end up moving into like a range build.
Yeah.
So you can play the ranged fighter with a bow or a crossbow or something. You're like, okay, just stay the fuck away from me because I don't have the help to take.
Yeah. What else could you do? You could do that. You could do because there's already 4 there. That
I
you
like
add.
the idea of these being like suggestions as well.
Yeah.
That I can get given by chat or whatever.
Yeah, because they could add cruxes
Like
to your
weird
building.
shit that I don't want to put on myself, like minimum HP.
You could do melee build.
Yep.
So if they roll,
So like
and you
wizard
roll
melee, and you're
with
like,
it,
oh god, I guess
Yeah.
it's a blade singer.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
or sorcerer melee, and you're like,
What the fuck do I do?
or it's like ranged,
Yeah.
and the thing is, you're not allowed
Ranged barbarian. You're like,
and
what the
and you're not allowed to have any form of melee
Melee
attack,
attack.
except for obviously your fists because you can't.
You
But
can't remove your fists from
Yeah. So you do ranged and melee
Yeah.
only.
Yeah.
So that makes it like interesting because if you get melee on like a caster, like a sorcerer,
Yeah.
then you really have to work around your spells on like what helps you to be up close.
Yeah.
And
I
then
think I could make that work actually. A
Yeah.
melee sorcerer.
well, that's the point.
Oh no, just off the top of my head, I think I could make that work.
And then what you do is you put in multi-class.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hit it, you have to multi-class,
Okay.
and then you spin the wheel again
To see
and
what I'm multi-class
multi-class
into. I like that.
Yeah,
I
you
like
that variant.
Yeah. Rather than just like listing down every multi-class, at least this early on. And you'd be like, okay, cool. I hit the multi-class one, I have to multi-class into something, remove whatever I just rolled. Coming up, we did Warlock, remove Warlock for a second, and then spin, because now it's not on there.
So
and then it can always just be added back in.
So we're gonna try and
later.
So one thing we're gonna try and do, right, is we're gonna try and mock one for what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go down here.
Warlock Cleric.
So we're gonna edit this wheel too. We're gonna save the wheels.
Oh.
Okay. So what we're gonna do?
Duplicate the hit back, maybe see if we can just get
I'm gonna duplicate the window.
Yeah, but hit back, see if we can just salvage the last one, maybe? No. Oh well. We tried.
Okay.
Alright, get the book again. Barbarian. Bard. Cleric. Druid. Fighter. Monk. Paladin.
Imagine a ranged paladin.
Yeah, because what doesn't work? Ranger. Rogue. Sorcerer. Warlock. And Wizard. Yes, sir.
So the way that I guess you can do this as well is you create a notepad on the side with all this already written. You delete, copy, paste, and then you copy and paste the other thing as well.
What other thing?
The crux or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So here we're gonna go into this one.
Just save a sticky note on my desktop.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so melee build.
Mm-hmm. Range build, I guess.
Build.
Plus. L.
Class is one word. Multi-class.
Yep.
We had two more at the beginning.
Minimum HP.
Yeah. I'm just gonna write min HP max HP
Another mosquito.
feats only ASI only. I think that's enough
Yeah.
to start it.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Oh no, it needs one more.
So we
Yeah.
have an even number. That's a good question. Yeah, you got one? That does not make that hard though.
Yeah.
There are so many good PHP subclasses. There's at least one good one for every class. Okay. Yeah, you got me.
There we go. So let's mock it up. All right, Jacob. Spin the first wheel.
Spin that wheel. Wonder if I can click off this.
No,
Well,
we'll just let this one go so that way we can see what
for
happens.
future reference. Ranger.
Okay, so at least you get the melee or ranged. It's not bad.
Yeah.
What do you get?
Worst page. Oh, we're gonna go over. ASI only.
only.
Okay, so no feats. That's interesting because that means no sharpshooter if I want to go range.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No two-weapon fighting.
Yep.
Feat, if you want to go melee.
That's not a feat, is it?
Oh, there's
Two-weapon
two-weapon feature, but the feat gives you extra AC and stuff.
No, it's not a feat. That's a fighting style.
No, there's a feat and a fighting style.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So if you read the feat,
Didn't even know there was a feat to this. Look at that. I'm already learning stuff. Normally, I'm teaching you this.
I play a lot of two-weapon fighters.
Yeah, clearly.
That is like one of my.
It's your go-to feat that you always play.
100%. If I'm playing melee, it's usually no. You're going the right way. Feats is that way.
Is it? Oh, is it after equipment? Is it?
Yeah. It's before.
Oh, that's so weird.
So keep going. Keep going. You understand? It's before multi-classing.
There we go.
Two-weapon fighting. Oh no, dual wielder. It's called D. There it is. No, one more.
Durable. Dual wielder. Yeah, right.
Dual wielder. You get +1 AC.
Yeah, that's pretty
You
good.
can draw it for free. And you can use light, and you can use any weapon.
Oh no, I do know this. Because this is what I was going to take to dual wield rapiers.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, you can't do that. I'm like, yeah, this is a feat for it. Yeah, gotcha.
So you can only take ability skill.
ASI only on a ranger though. That's going to be the interesting part. Beastmasters, hunters.
Well, I think what we're going to do here is we're going to search up D&D 5e players and book.
I don't think you can get them all online though.
No, obviously, but we're going to show the PHP because PHP is the
main.
If I write flip book, you come up.
Any flip.
Nah. So I'm going to view it full size for everyone.
Oh, Stalker. Oh, I've wanted to build one of those for so long.
Sorry about the ads. I don't want to click on anything that's going to...
Go up to the top and...
Yeah. If I click that,
Yeah, the X will get rid of it.
oh, will it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I use this site way too much.
Alright.
It's what I use the PHP on my phone while I'm at work.
So, what we're going to do here is we're going to read the Ranger class.
Yes. Ranger class is actually not bad. I don't understand why people.
No, we've got a third wheel to add.
Ooh.
Race.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. We can do this. Just take all of my decisions away.
Look, I don't mean to, but we're going to. Edit this wheel.
Just they're all different colors, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the thing you'll have on this too is you can add volley races.
Yes. Dwarf.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just do these ones at the start just so I don't have to.
Go through everything.
Yeah. Elf.
Elf.
Halfling.
Now, when you do elf, it doesn't matter about subtypes. It just matters about regular type.
Yeah. Because I can choose it once I'm in there because it's a sub. Halfling. Human.
Because this actually adds more to what you're doing. If you get human, you get ability to a feat. And you're allowed to do
Dragonborn? Nah, because that's variant human. That's choosing a feat. If I'm doing ASI only, I can't pick variant human. Gnome. I feel like that's just cheating. Half elf. Half orc. Oh, and tiefling. So we're gonna have an odd number.
That's right. Oh, wait. No, we won't. It's always going to say that it's not right.
Remove half elf.
Nope.
No.
And then...
Dealer's choice.
Yeah. That means you get to pick.
Yeah, okay.
There you go. So, Jacob, one more wheel.
ASI only on a rogue.
Ranger.
A ranger that is...
You can get the dwarf.
I'm just waiting for it to land on human and be like,
oh, you get to pick.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, but do I want to just pick a good race or do I want to pick something bad like a dwarf, like you just said, and be like, you know what, screw you, I'm going to do it anyway. Because dwarves, as a dwarf, I could go Duergar and get.
No, I've got a mad one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add 2 more to this.
Okay.
Okay.
Follows races.
Follows. So follows, yeah, races.
Blake's choice.
But every time you do this, you change Blake into another person that is the member's choice. So you call up one of us randomly.
Oi, pick a race.
And you put it on loudspeaker.
Yeah.
And let's say you go, oh, I'm going to pick Rob, and Rob doesn't pick up.
Yeah.
And then you're like, someone else.
Yeah.
So for me, obviously, I'm here. So, but you could call Rob, for instance. Actually, call Rob. No, so that's if it comes up. So here we go.
Sure, I'm not getting it twice. No.
Mad.
But say it's only, I can't take
Elven feats.
Yeah, elven accuracy.
Yeah.
So
but half elf is really, really forgiving in what you
it
get
is.
to put.
It is very forgiving.
So
I can't remember what half elf gets.
So you're gonna pick, as we see here, a ranger with ASI only. That is a half elf.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm assuming that I'm playing straight from the book with the races, no Tasha's Tasha's rules.
Not yet. That'll be something added in later.
Well, I mean, like, that just means that it doesn't matter what the race is. I have to, I just choose where my stats are going.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, Because these are charisma +2, so it does not help.
Now,
And
we're doing this off a point buy system, aren't we?
yeah, and 2 other ability scores by 1. Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
2 scores of my choice by 1, and charisma's just.
So,
I haven't built a half elf. I just realized that.
so the reason why we're going to do point buy is because one, that's what we've been playing for a long time now, and we find that system nice and fair.
It also means that you're
And you can copy this.
But it also means that you, if I get a multi-class, I can't roll stats and go, well, I can't meet these multi-class requirements.
Exactly. So what we're going to do is based off the 27 point buy.
Yeah.
Because that's the one that is currently the most accurate one. If your DM manages to give you a higher point buy, you can still do this.
I will probably stick with the standard point array, which sits right here, 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8. Because this just allows for any multi-classing. It also means that I've just got to place these stats rather than min-maxing things.
Exactly.
And I always feel like this is just more fun anyway.
Yeah.
I have built min-max characters that, like, stat-wise when I build them initially, and I always just take them off in some stupid direction anyway that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay, so now we have to get to character building.
Yes.
Have we figured out anything to use?
Not particularly. Not unless I'm screen sharing my tablet for that app.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So we're gonna right now go through Google and find a character builder that is free all the way up to level 20.
Actually, see if you can download these apps because these are on the Samsung store.
Okay. What is it called?
Google Play Store.
Yeah. What is it called? The app.
I thought you were just gonna go Google Play Store. 5e Companion. Nion. Yeah.
N-I-O-N.
You went IN, but yeah. Play Store. I don't know if you can download these onto a computer. That's. Oh yeah. That's to sign in, but it'll work.
Look, it's not that we don't trust you. It's just that this is personal information.
Yes.
So, got to kind of make sure that stuff is safe. That's why we're using incognito. That's why he should be using incognito.
Yes.
Really? Oh, it's because I'm
No,
not.
they go. They just come up. Yeah, incognito usually has these. It'll send it to
No, 9.
that phone. Is that this one?
Just getting a verification to my
Yeah.
phone number. God, why are you so many digits?
It's only 6.
Yeah, no, but it looks
It did look like a lot more. Because if this works and we can just download this app to the computer, choose a device. Can we choose this computer? Come on. Nah. Damn it.
Damn.
That would have been so useful because I know how to use this app.
Just for safety reasons, I'm gonna continue being off this until we figure out a place to go, just in case I have to log in somewhere.
Yeah. It's not really helping being able to see all this anyway.
5e. Yeah.
Not on. Yeah. Character builder? Top one? Not there.
Not paying for that. What are you?
So we can just find something that works on the computer so we can just
I
add
think
and
I kind of
remove
use
things.
this, but it's really weird to use.
Okay.
I don't think it goes like super far.
Just click through things and see where it goes.
Wait, Vision day. Okay, well, let's. It's like, how do I get levels? All right, let's go to 900 to see if it just makes me level 3.
Get level up. There you go. It tells you where your things are right here.
Oh, okay, so we can physically change it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually rolling dice for strength checks.
Oh, because your strength is up here.
Okay, ability scores, class levels.
This is
so
your
there's a
levels in a
die
class.
rolling.
Yep.
And what class I picked. I just averaged everything.
Yeah. Which just gives the average roll on it.
That's also what we'll do, is average the health.
Yeah, average health.
Unless you've done like this.
Unless we've got like minimum health, in which case we just go minimum. But
We're just figuring out where to pick. So let's go Dragonborn. Blue.
half health.
Oh yeah. Half elf.
I think it's now been chosen because this all moved because it's now it's now currently in wood elf. Oh no, half elf. Why is it 40? Oh, because we're probably a level 17 barbarian right now.
We are.
Yeah, which gives you 10 foot extra movement. That's why it's 40 foot.
You gotta select your proficiencies, which is mad because it.
Yeah.
You can lock stuff to prevent changes. Add your spells, weapons, which is cool. But add class, add subclass, land class. Further down.
Here's your path. It's only got that one.
Yeah, so that one won't work.
Yeah.
Cool website.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is fine. I can work out the specifics of which one I'm going to use
Yeah, but we need
later.
to
But
kind of show.
yeah. So the one that we show in this video may not be the
Yeah, we're just trying to
final one.
figure
We're
out.
just trying to find one that we can put up on the screen so that we can kind of run through everything. There's your stuff up here for your class and your... Oh yeah, set strength to one of these numbers.
Uh-huh. Oh, and it becomes PDF. It's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not...
What level does it fully go up to?
Yeah, that did just get going up, didn't it?
All the way to 20.
Or more.
No.
No.
Oh, or more.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Oh, this is a.
This is an app.
This is telling us what's the best.
Uh-huh.
We're currently on that one.
Yeah.
Cool.
We don't talk about it. Because I feel like if nothing else, we can just get up a character sheet and just edit it.
Yeah.
put it into PDF viewer and just
Sorry about that. I also realized the music was really loud. So that's my bad. Pay for it. The reason why we're not using D&D Beyond is because we don't actually play the game
through it.
and we are pen and paper people.
Yeah.
So
we have physical character sheets that we.
I think this one we just do for now.
Yeah, just for now. It's fine.
It's kind of fast anyway.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Well, I hope so. It's called the fast character.
Exactly. So we're going to jump back onto the actual screen now so you can see what we have found.
Wait for that to come over and make sure we're on the right one.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, bit of everything, expansion, rules, and other stuff. So, the way we're going to figure out if we can use this is going to pick a class. Well, everything's there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Allows us to go into titles, allows us to do all the rest. So, and this allows us to do heritage as well. So, variant human, conquerors,
Everything.
Yeah, this is
Capitola.
this is pretty good. Half elf PHB.
Mm-hmm.
We need a rogue. No, ranger. That's the one. Let's click on Gloomstalker for the moment because I like the idea of making these. Level. Alright, so if I... so this turns it into a character sheet, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that's going to be the only problem we got here.
No, because you're going to be walking through everything.
Yeah, but I can't change it on the fly. That's fine. It's fine for right now. Text only. 120. Character sheet. Yeah.
One sec. I guess you can always just go back and check the levels. Only on the important ones, so where something drastic has changed.
Yeah.
Because the way he's going to be doing this anyway is through a like level by level type thing.
So that I can
you're
kind of show where to take things, or at least with the build that I'm making.
Well, you already said to me that the way you're going to be doing this is in a way that you go, okay, now I'm at level 3, and if you notice on the stat sheet, this is what's changed, and this is why.
What's changed, and this is where we're going.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're level 1. We're ranger, and we're taking Gloomstalker. Okay, so level 2.
You don't take Gloomstalker.
For Gloomstalker, we get this. This comes up,
and this is why this is happening, type thing. You know.
Yeah. So that's the step by step that is planned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So obviously it doesn't become a Gloomstalker until level 3 anyway. So for Ranger, we'd have level 1, whatever you get for level 1.
So sorry, Ruby, we didn't actually know you were here because we were trying to work all this stuff. So your first homebrew monster.
Okay, interesting. What did you go with?
Yeah, tell us. What are you thinking? If you're still there. If you're not, we're sorry that we missed you.
I didn't see this come up, so I think it may have only...
We were so focused on trying to get this done.
Yeah.
Didn't even pay attention to chat for a moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. It's a corrupted...
Gargantuan Fae.
Gargantuan Fae? What Fae did you pick?
Well, it's homebrew. So...
No, but like to base it off?
Yeah.
Type thing.
So, alright, so it's a Gargantuan Fae. What's its, where does it sit in the world? What is its, is it like benevolent? Is it malevolent? Malevolent, that's the one.
Yeah, if you want to link it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I'm kind of curious. I I had a mate that wanted to try and build a monster from Doom into D&D, and we kind of tried to run through a stat block for it. So I do enjoy trying to.
So I'm gonna go look at this. I'm just gonna obviously
these.
change the format so that way they don't see like a whole interception of Twitch, because otherwise that's gonna be a bit annoying.
Oh, Nightbot just gave a warning and deleted all the messages. So our Nightbot we haven't really managed to set up
Okay.
well enough.
Okay. I'm gonna work this out. We have a Facebook page. So if you wanna click the link there and just post it in that, because I do not know what the Nightbot is doing. We're not the ones who set that up. So I'm gonna post that link on the Facebook quickly. And we'll go look at that. I guess it stops links for the fact of stopping
Spam
and links.
damn to the page.
Yeah. You damned it to the page. Awesome. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want us to show this on the video? Because this video will end up on YouTube, so it's up to you. If you want to keep your
homebrew to yourself?
Yeah. That's up to you. Whatever you're thinking. Yeah, we really need
Go
to
ahead, look at it, credit the art to Christopher
Young.
Christopher Young?
Well, awesome. We will.
Yeah. I like that you've set it all up like a PHP with the
Yeah, it looks mad.
the photo and everything. This would clearly be a 2-page spread on a monster.
Yeah. Like
Obviously it's like this just for simplicity's sake.
Yeah, so Christopher Young is the person that has done all this art that we're being told.
It looks like a giant sturge.
I'm trying to think of where I've seen this before. Well, not this. I'm not saying that this isn't original or anything. What I'm saying is like because the owl mask.
Owl mask.
Yeah,
I'm looking at that and oh yeah, I feel
like the owl style.
I almost completely missed that. This looks like a giant sturge to me.
Kind of, I guess. This reminds me of,
like,
oh, this is a lot like a gug.
A gug.
Yeah, like an eldritch being.
Oh yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah.
So
the wings are kind of like shattered glass. This thing looks cool.
I don't think there are wings. No, they're not wings.
Oh no,
they're the trees.
I thought this here was wings.
Oh, you could add like wings to this thing. Give it a slice. Whoa. What level are your players?
Wait, hold on. So, wait, what did we just look at?
Challenge rating 30.
Yeah.
700 HP. AC 25. Wow. Are you
hit points?
Oh my god, we definitely went to the wrong thing. We went to... Sorry, this is not where we're used to. We're definitely going over everything. So for everyone who didn't see this, this is actually what it looks like. And we're not here to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
I have too many like live things on my Stream Deck. So,
here we go. Yeah, we got it up now.
So, yeah, this is...
Zoom out a bit so that...
like I click this.
Pulls off this, yeah. Because then it'll come into the middle here, because this thing looks sick.
I know. Yeah, I will. I'm more or less like zoomed in so people can have a better look at it.
Yeah.
On the sides.
That's the full look of the artwork there. So it's got like, I don't know, cultists or something surrounding it.
Yeah. So
This is mad.
for what you're doing,
like
it's got their actions, everything. Is this meant to be like summon? A lot of the abilities. Yeah. You came up with a lot of the abilities. Well, we'll see what it is actually. So I know we got sidetracked. We always do this. Welcome to the podcast. So, Wild Hunt Reclaimer. Good name. Gargantuan. Do you know how big that is?
Gargantuan's massive.
I've only got one Gargantuan mini.
Is that the
The Stone Giant.
Yeah, that thing's huge.
Well,
It's gargantuan.
Yeah, well, actually, I'll get it for you guys to see the comparison for it.
50 foot of speed, 700 hit points, 25 armor class. That's kind of nuts. I like 25 strength, 11 dex, 25 con, 11 in, 30 wisdom. 30 wisdom. Oof.
So, if you don't know, this is how big the giant was that you fought.
Yep, so that's size huge.
Large.
That's only large.
Oh no,
No,
huge.
that's huge.
Huge, sorry. And then you've got like a player character miniature, which is about this big. You have gargantuan.
That's gargantuan.
This is massive compared to that.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's how big this thing is.
Yeah, this thing compared to a
it
player.
sits on its hand.
Yeah.
Like straight up.
I'm pretty sure I can probably print something like that.
Yeah.
It's the embodiment of the wilds corrupted by overuse of man and influence. Yeah, nice.
Cool.
That's it. That's good. Oh, I almost fell over. Yeah.
Very cool.
I think the biggest mini that I'm printing is like 70 centimeters.
Yeah, it's something nuts.
Yeah. Can't wait to drop that on the table for you, but it has to be the new table because that one's not going to support it. Okay. So AC 20. So we didn't actually get what level were your PCs actually going to be at when they come across this?
If you have an idea for that.
Yeah.
Well, challenge rating 30, so it's got to be something.
Massive.
It's got to be like high level gameplay. It's also inspired by something I saw while on a ventilator for 8 days due to COVID. Yeah, right. So like what's it called? Paralysis demons?
Oh, okay. So you haven't even used it. It's something very similar. Well, I'm glad that you're doing better than being on a ventilator.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very, very glad to hear that you've come out of it. I'm not saying that it's better or for worse, but I'm much happy that you're actually able to type in a clear thought and make something like this. That is
also, oh my god, you saw this? That's terrifying.
So one thing that I have noticed, which is good pathing on creating your own monster, especially one as big and challenge rating, is the fact that damage resistances, you've only put one. That's very good because you don't want to have too many resistances, otherwise whoever is playing against this is never going to feel like they're going to have a chance. 2, the immunities, that is good. That's always a good way to...
2 immunities technically, and then bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magical.
There is one thing I will say, is that the saving throw for wisdom is a little bit too high.
19.
19 is massive. I believe if you did it to plus 14 or 15, is strong enough.
Well, my saving throw DC was maxed out playing in the first campaign. I think it was only 23,
Yeah,
or something.
yeah. And then even when you went into that extra form, it was still...
well, like that was all homebrew. So
Yeah.
like with that, it's a 23 DC. So this passes that on a 4 or higher.
Yeah.
That's really insane.
Yeah. So if you drop it down to 14, I think 14 would be strong enough because its wisdom is plus 10.
Yeah.
So then a plus 4 to that would be strong.
I think this is due to the fact that it's challenge rating 30, and so it's
well, you could keep it at 19 because it only has one saving.
Oh no, calculation wise, so its proficiency bonus counts as being something towards a plus 9.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it's come from.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh my god, that's ridiculous. At this point, you might as well just say immune to wisdom saving throws.
So what you've got here is that the condition immunity is all of them.
Is that all of them?
It's all of them.
Okay.
Charmed, deafened, exhausted, frightened, incapacitated, paralyzed, petrified, restrained, stunned, and unconscious. I don't think anything's actually going to try and make this unconscious.
Being gargantuan, I don't think it. I think it kind of makes sense for a lot of these. Maybe not like deafened and
Unless
what's the other one? Blinded.
Yeah.
Is blinded in here?
Um,
No, it's not.
Blinded's not. Okay, so you still have blinded.
Yeah.
So at least that's still a thing. Alright, so it's not all of them. That's good. And it can still be...
Because, like,
prone, so
okay,
it's good.
frightened, I get it's gargantuan. It probably doesn't really even know
Exhaustion.
you're there.
Exhaustion, you get it.
Same thing. Charmed, same thing.
incapacitated.
Yeah, maybe paralyzed,
Petrified. Yeah.
petrified,
Restrained. It's too
yeah,
big
it's
to
too
be
big.
restrained.
Stunned.
Yeah.
I don't understand unconscious.
I'm guessing it's that way. I think unconscious is if someone tried to use a sleep spell.
Yeah, but you
But,
can't physically roll 700 on sleep.
Yeah, true. Unless
So,
like,
like,
I
I don't
think
know, if you got some weird way to make it unconscious.
True sight. Yeah, this makes sense to have true sight. Passive perception. Its wisdom's so high. This actually makes sense to have 20.
Yes.
Sylvan telepath. Yeah.
Telepathy out of 150 feet.
Yeah. So okay.
When it's telepathy, is it telepathy and anything it's using telepathy with understands it? So, like,
I'm guessing that's what he means. So it physically doesn't talk; it talks into their minds.
Yeah.
I think that's the way it's meant to be.
Yeah.
It's all like the lion turtles off the Avatar,
Yeah.
where it never spoke; it was speaking through its mind.
Yeah.
So legendary resistances.
3 legendary resistances makes sense. Immutable form makes sense. It seems
If the
gargantuan.
WHR, you just abbreviated its name.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's immune to things that would alter its form.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It is a siege monster. It's gargantuan. That makes so much sense. Magic resistance.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well,
I guess it
anything
is.
over DC 20 always has magic
Does
resistance.
it always?
Yeah, challenge.
Okay.
It's the biggest of the big.
That's fair.
That's like your demon lords and your traps.
Magic
Stuff like that.
resistance is so.
Even like the Kraken.
Did you see that they changed magic resistance for races in Volo's Guide to the Modern Canon's Guide to the Multiverse?
No.
It's the new book. They've changed magic resistance on races, playable races, to be spells. Advantage on saving throws against spells,
Oh, okay.
not other magical effects anymore. So
Yeah, right.
yeah.
So, Fear Aura, that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
DC 25, that also.
Regeneration.
But it does make sense. Regeneration 15 at the start of its turn.
It's not a ridiculous number, but
No.
like, oh my god, just thinking about fighting this thing, it's like, yeah, by the way,
Okay.
15 HP on every round.
So one thing I do like is the fact that you've for your multi attack, you've only done one of them, which is it makes 4 attacks with each one of its arms, which
Yes.
I think that is good and fair in what it does. Melee attack plus 20. Jesus.
Actually, what? How does that compare to the only other challenge rating 30 we've got in a book? I'm actually thinking that may be quite close.
Yeah.
At a plus 20 to hit.
Well, I'm guessing the way he did this was proficiency plus strength.
I would assume so.
But then it'd be really really high, but not as high as that. I think the Balor itself has like 14, so the Tarask, I think, is 17.
Still quite close though. So
Yeah.
like it's makes sense.
Oh, I see you changed to the most deadliest thing in the game,
Yes.
which was the Shadow.
Yes, my favorite monster that I will never use because oh my god. Hey, look, there's my other favorite monster.
Yeah. Floor attack. 19.
Plus 19 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, plus 20 is actually just exactly on
the
par.
nose.
It sounds ridiculous.
Heat that out for a second. It does 68 plus 10 slashing damage. What did the Tarask kind of do?
Oh look, the thing that can kill a Tarask. At CR 1/4, 1/8, I think it is. I love the monster manual.
Yes, let's talk about how stupid it is sometimes, right?
Yes.
What else? Okay.
Alright, let's leave it open to here. What are we looking at again? It's damage.
Yeah.
4d12 plus 10 on a bite. 4d8 plus 10 on a claw.
So 68 slashing plus 10. What I believe is that I feel like 68 slashing is too
This
little.
also makes 5 attacks, one with its bite, 2 with its claws, and one
Yeah,
with its
yeah.
horns.
So what I'm thinking,
Oh, they're all 4s.
yeah.
So, I mean,
What's its reach?
I might drop
15.
it down to 5.
Yeah.
Either 4 or 5.
6 is a lot. People die really quick.
Yeah.
The
Even at high level.
I feel like the 10's fine. What's the trust?
Plus 10.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah.
The 10 added like guaranteed damage is fine because the minimum this thing is doing is 16.
Yeah.
But we're not going to talk about the max because the max is a lot.
A lot.
Um,
You want to look at minimum damage for this anyway.
oh, actually, it's not as much as I think.
What? For minimum damage?
The max damage is what, 50? No, 48. It's 48, then 58 is the max. So it's generally when you're at high enough level to fight this thing, you're over
like
200.
per hit.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, that killed one.
48 times 4.
Yeah, I would just drop
Yeah.
the d8s to 4 d8s because I feel like that's where the players have a chance.
Yeah.
Consume. When the Wild Hunt Reclaimer makes one attack against a large or small creature, or
It
smaller
makes a
creature.
claw attack. Yeah.
Yes, against if it hits, the target takes
Claws damage and is pulled into the gullet. While consumed, the creature is blinded and restrained. It takes 16d6 necrotic damage at the start of each of its turns.
So, one thing I believe you should do there, because your to hit is 20, there's no way someone is not getting hit. I believe there should be a saving throw to this.
The Tarrasque does not have one. It needs to use a second action to swallow them, but there is no saving throw to that.
Is that just when it hits?
So for swallow, it makes a bite attack against a large creature it's grappling. If it hits, it takes bites damage and it's swallowed. So that's in line with the Tarrasque does. That consumability.
I think there should also be a limit on how many people can be in the gullet.
There is not on the Tarrasque.
But I know that but the Tarrasque
we're talking about a size thing though.
Yeah, I know.
This thing literally could fit an entire party within its gullet.
Yeah, there's Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
I get it.
It seems really overpowered, but like for what has been put here for the Tarrasque, this actually is very much in line with what it's doing.
Yeah, but that thing.
The 68 is like, what was that?
That thing's meant to be unkillable.
It's meant to be, but it's really, really not. Just give anything that can fly a magical bow, and they win.
Alright.
And there are so many ways to kill the Tarrasque.
The Wild Hunt Reclaimer calls upon the corrupted spawn of its influence to summon one choice of 1d20 plus 5 twig blights, 10 or 10. That's a lot. I know you roll twig blight.
Is it in here?
Little stick man.
No, it's not. Oh, just so I could try and get its CR. Because it's a D20, so I'm going to assume it's a low...
1 second. Twig blights and... wait, are Wendigos in D&D, or is this another one that you've made up? I'm just very curious. Did you make up the...
there is a Twig Blight in 5th Ed.
Yeah. Is there a Wendigo?
I think the Wendigo's in here, actually.
Is it? Just go to W. You're already super close to it.
Yeah, true.
No. I was going to say Z.
Yeah.
Wyvern.
White. Water. No, not in this one.
I think I don't know what book it's going to be in.
It's going to be in
Mordenkainen's
Tomb.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So summon of corruption. That's all. Like these monsters. Those monsters accept twig blights.
Oh, the
just
Twig Blight
placeholders.
is challenge rating 1/8.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh yeah. 13 armor class, 4 hit points.
Oh, okay. So the Wendigo and I think you could just make the Wendigos. To be honest, the Wendigos kind of fall in line with Fae in a sense, like corrupted Fae. Um, so I guess you could 100% just do that. So I think the Summon of Corruption is just a normal ability that generally stuff like this would do. You find like demons, or like higher level demons, being able to summon spawn
Yeah.
demons, so that's fine. It gives the DM more stuff to do, and it keeps the fight interesting for the whole time.
Yeah.
Because this will be a long fight. It is not something that takes 10 minutes.
No, this is, and the summon's meant to ensure that. Even if you're just placing CR18 dudes, it still takes at least an action or two to kill.
This is like like your big boss. This is
this
is the end of the campaign. You're all level 20.
Absolutely.
I don't think you could do this less. You need those extra hit points.
Yeah.
So
Except you could actually, as far as I can tell, you could kill this thing the same way as you kill the Tarrasque.
It can't. Oh, it fly.
No, this doesn't fly.
No, I know.
I thought it was wings. So if you fly, or if you get... Oh, this is doing necrotic damage, so you can't do it with the golem.
So there are two things that we have noticed, though. Two ways to beat this is ranged.
Yes.
Trying to hit the AC can be hard, so it needs to be someone who can hit the range pretty well.
Oh, but over time you'll end up doing it regardless.
And the shadow doesn't kill this because it's immune to necrotic.
Yes.
So the shadow can't kill this. Alright.
The shadow is not especially good.
The monster can take 5 legendary actions, choosing from the options below. Okay. So one thing I noticed you haven't done here is generally a rule of thumb is legendary actions cost points. So technically you would have the monster has like 5 points for legendary actions.
Yeah.
So that way, even the tracks, it says you can make 3 and it costs 2 actions.
Yeah.
5 is a lot.
Oh, so the
3 is generally
3 legendary actions.
Most things have 3.
It can attack for 1 action for 1 point. It can move for 1 point, or it can chomp for 2 points. Which is a bite attack or use swallow.
Yeah. So I feel like well, it depends on when we read these on how much the actions should cost.
Yeah.
Claw shouldn't be 1. It should just be a normal attack type thing. Like so you don't. It just be 1 action. One of the 5 legendary actions cost.
Yeah.
So
well, that's how this is kind of formatted anyway. Because this is what it does for these as well. It doesn't actually say 1 action.
Yeah.
So
it does its claw attack, which is what we've read before.
Yep. More the forest.
When the wild hunter reclaimer, or when the wild hunt reclaimer becomes aware of the player's presence, it summons a wall in 150-foot radius that is 30 foot high, 10 foot thick. The area is also filled with a gnarled, spiked vines.
Yeah.
I hope I said that right. The area becomes difficult to terrain, and when a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 foot it travels.
Okay. So
I think that should have a saving throw.
A couple things about this. First of all, what is the wall made of?
Spike vines.
No, like, so is it
I think it's just vines.
It says it's filled with.
Oh, okay.
So, is this a wall of force? Is this a wall of stone?
No, I think I think that what he's trying to do is like a wall of vines, pretty much wrap up. He just said it in the way that it makes sense to him. That's what I just believe strongly that it is. I believe there should be a saving throw.
And this should... I don't think this should be a legendary action. I feel like this should be a lair action.
That, or it could be an actual attack. Like an action.
Like a breath weapon kind of thing?
Yeah.
With a recharge?
Wait, it has a recharge?
And
I don't think
it would have to go away immediately, though. Otherwise, there's no point in having a recharge.
No, because you
If
can
it's just
say
an
after
area
the
of
recharge, then it like retracts and goes back into them, and then they replace it type thing.
What lasts until the recharge
Yeah.
is met, but
Yeah.
then it doesn't matter because it's just always up. So you may as well have it be a layer action.
True. Okay. Yeah, I believe that the 2d4 isn't much.
It's not a lot, but
But-
it adds up because it's for every 5 foot too. And I think that 150-foot radius is massive.
It's spike growth with a wall. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought so.
It just seems very, very strong for what it is. So it's a 150-foot radius, which means
That's
every
massive.
single time any player is moving anywhere within this area,
that's
they're taking 2d4.
That's generally like most people's just generic battlefield.
Yeah, but whenever they're fighting this period.
Yeah.
So there is nowhere to fight this thing without being within the spikes.
And also, it doesn't have a time limit.
And there's no time limit. Yeah, I feel like it doesn't seem that overpowered, but when you consider the fact that this is going to lead to either when your players are going up against it, they're just going to stand next to it and hit it till it dies.
So-
There's going to be no movement, because if you move in this area, you'll take your automatic damage.
So one thing I would do to it, this is the way I would run this. I'm not saying this is what you should do. This is just what I would do. He might have a different opinion on this. The way I would do this is make it cost 3. So that way, 3 actions. So that way you can only do it once per like rotation.
Mm-hmm.
And I would make the radius 30 foot.
Yes.
Because that way it becomes a smaller like cube, size of a fireball.
Yeah.
And what that means is that it starts to plant itself all over the battlefield. So that means not only do you have to like rise it up in the most opportune places that you think, but the players can also, if they're smart enough, avoid it, but also plan it out.
Yeah.
So that way they can kind of go, okay, I'm going to go here. So that way next time it spawns it, it's not in the most inconvenient place. They can actually work a way around it in their favor, but they're still taking the damage.
Yeah.
So I think it becomes 3 actions. So that way it can only do it once per round. So it doesn't just go and just do it everywhere.
Or just do it once and it's already everywhere.
And then to you do it. No, you just do it 30 foot.
Yeah.
A time limit is based off the DM that's doing it. If you want to do a time limit, there you go. So that way you don't have to try and remember 30-foot radiuses of how long that's going to
I
last.
feel like if it's not going to have a time limit though, what it needs to do is not for every 5 foot it travels. It should be when it enters it on its turn or starts its turn in the area.
Ends its turn, or like when it ends its turn.
When it enters or starts its turn within the area.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
if you stay within it,
Yeah.
next turn when you start, you take the automatic 2d4, and then movement within it doesn't cause you to take a linear amount of damage every single time you move.
And also, like, keeping it 30 foot high is really good.
Yeah.
And the thickness is fine.
Everything else about it is great.
It has a time limit. You just got to read more of the abilities.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So the time limit is actually separated. All right.
Yeah, okay.
Join the wild hunt. If a creature is... Oh, God, I'm so sorry.
If a creature is at 0 hit points, the DBHR will focus.
Yeah, there we go. Now I can read it.
Yeah.
Focus the unconscious creature stretching its...
Vestigial arms.
Yeah.
Creature is pulled into the gullet of the WHR and it regains 30 hit points. And the creatures inside have disadvantage on death saving throws. Oh my god. If the creature dies while inside it, the soul of the creature joins the hunt and can only be resurrected through a wish spell. Creatures can attempt to remove the unconscious creature with a DC 25 athletic saving throw.
By magical means. Okay. So when you say magical means, let's say they do telepathy. No.
Telekinesis.
Telekinesis. Does that need a saving throw?
The way that it's written, I would say yes.
Okay. So my biggest problem here, and this is just the biggest one.
Or by magical / other means. So probably not.
Okay.
It's 25 athletics to just pull it free.
Yeah. My biggest problem here, this is the only one that's really the biggest problem, is the disadvantage on death saving throws. Only for the fact is there's nothing in this core mechanic game that makes that a thing. Because there's no advantages. There's nothing that ever gives advantage to saving throws.
You can get advantage on death saving throws.
What the?
Yep. As a paladin, you have an aura that gives advantage on death saving throws for a specific paladin.
Yeah. Because another thing is that when it's in the gullet, I'm pretty sure while consumed, a creature is being restricted, it takes at the start of each turn. So what you've written is while inside the gullet, it's going to take 16d6. So that means that it's going to just immediately lose a save.
Yep.
So it gets hit, it automatically loses 2, and then you're giving it disadvantage. It's gonna die, like immediately die. So it gets 1 chance to roll, and then the next turn you die. So that save does nothing.
It's very, very...
It's very, very, I'm going to kill you and murder you. The second part didn't save there, as the bonus action can expel the corpse on a dead creature and create a greater beast. I see what you're saying. Yeah, you wouldn't take damage if you're already unconscious. Oh, so... Yeah. So, So in the consumer, you're saying that you wouldn't take damage if you are unconscious, if you're inside the gullet. You only take the damage if you're awake, like while you're conscious. Because there's nothing here that clearly says that, so that's why I'm like because if you're conscious and that's happening, makes sense. But if you're unconscious and it still happens, it's very, very much. Yeah, only take damage if you're awake. I thought about that and I seemed really OP and unfun. Yeah, alright.
Oh, sorry, this is an advantage. This is a bonus equal to your charisma modifier to your saving throws, which a death saving throw is a saving throw.
Yeah, so what I believe is don't make it disadvantage on death saving throws, because that's just so fucked.
It's so hard to get away from that. So mathematically, advantage or disadvantage is either a +5 or a -5 to your roll on average.
Yeah.
And seeing as death saving throws don't actually have any kind of a modifier to them, it means you have to roll a 15 or higher. Technically, if you're rolling one die, it's a 15 or higher to survive, rather than a 10 or higher to survive.
So if you just take out that part, the rest of it is pretty fine. The strength check makes
that
a lot
death
of
saving
sense.
throw. Oh my god, that is terrifying.
Yeah. But the rest of it makes sense. Like the DC 25 athletics, like if you have a barbarian in your party, they're more than likely going to be able to pull you out.
Yeah.
Especially when they have advantage. And they have advantage
when
on
they're
strength,
raging.
so,
Yeah.
So that's generally how it's going to go. And by other magical means, so if you take out the disadvantage part, so you just go and it regains 30 HP, full stop. If a creature dies within it, that all makes sense. That's perfectly fine. But I would 100% get rid of the disadvantage on death saving throws, because that will, if you get in it, you're never getting out.
Yeah.
You're never getting out. That one move. And join the Wild Hunt. I don't think that should be a legendary action. I think that should just be part of the actions. I think that should be connected to consume.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it says, like, if it reaches HP, it stretches its arms. Oh, I mean, you have to hit 0 within the 15 feet for this to actually do anything. So...
no. So it can use this legendary action on a creature that is already at 0 HP.
If a creature is at 0.
Yeah.
So I think you can actually get rid of that whole top part. And then you can do in there, if on consume, if a creature, uh, if this ability causes a creature to hit 0 HP,
The rest of it.
the rest of it. So
Yeah.
this gains 30 HP, and just do that. I feel like that cuts out the rest of the legendary actions, so
Yeah.
it's not as big, and the consume actually becomes like the most terrifying thing on this thing. Like
Yeah.
it already is very terrifying.
And it should be, because you're getting eaten by this colossal fae.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's gargantuan fae.
Yeah. So I think that you get rid of Join the Wild Hunt
And make it part of
of
consume. I agree with that.
because I think that just makes the whole "don't let it eat you" thing become super terrifying.
Yeah.
All right, reclaimed by the land creates a mass grasping weeds and vines on all creatures that it chooses in the area. Must succeed.
Creatures in the area must succeed.
I don't know which, like, how long is the area? Like, what's the radius? Or is it just whoever can see? Must succeed at DC Strength 25 or be restrained. Yeah, generally it seems fine. I think 25's massive though for when it's not doing it. It's the spell doing it.
I think it's actually kind of in line with things.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's just how they do it.
Yeah.
If it would do a DC 25 athletic check for you to wrestle it out of it, it just has that athletic check on its magic as well. It just streamlines everything.
Yeah. If the creature fails its second saving throw, the vines begin to pull them into the earth. Each turn, the creature sinks 2 feet. Each feet sunk, the DC is increased by 1. As long as the creature isn't completely submerged, it can escape by using its action to succeed a saving throw. This creature becomes submerged. They begin holding their breath for a minute, equal to +1 the Constitution modifier. The creature runs out of breath. It can survive number of rounds equal to its group. Okay, that
It's suffocation.
Yeah, it's suffocation. Reclaim the land.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, but I believe you just don't need to change anything of this. You wrote this so, like this is a very fair mechanic.
This should be a max legendary actions though.
Yeah, this one should be because you pick everyone and there's no like radius. So this should be. I think this should be. No, I think it should be 4.
Really?
Still gets a claw attack.
This already targets every single.
No, this should be the charge attack.
The charge attack.
Yeah, like the dragon's breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. This shouldn't be a legendary action. This should be a action recharge. This is terrifying.
That's cool. That's cool as a recharge because that means you can technically do it every round as your entire action. Yeah. Granted, but you do hit every single creature doing it.
Yeah.
And it allows you to use your claw as a legendary action.
Yeah, and you still use more
the forest
because if
to place your things.
Yeah.
So
I believe reclaim the land should be an action that has a recharge just like the dragon's breath.
I feel like what we could do with this is make it 3 legendary actions. Claw uses 1, more of the forest uses 2.
Yeah.
That way you can more of the forest once and claw once, or you can hit 3 times with your claws.
Yeah. And then join the wild hunt should be part of consume.
Yep.
And reclaim the land should
is a recharge. Oh, that's scary. I like it.
Wait till I get to the lair actions and other things. What?
Oh damn.
What else do we have coming up? But yeah, 100%. This isn't
this
more.
Is cool.
This isn't more or less me going. You don't have to do this. No, 100%. Make the reclaim by land and an action.
Yes.
That is recharged. It's not for the fact it's too unfair. It's the fact that this is a terrifying ability. That means this needs to be like it's been a few rounds. He's gonna do it again. We need to get out. Like it is.
I will say
a terrifying ability, but it's not overpowered.
I feel like the way that the flavor on this works, I think it needs a maximum height that it can hit though, or if a flying creature, like a creature that is aloft, gets hit by this, it gets pulled to the ground. Like first.
All creatures choose. Let's see. I think what it does need is more clarification.
Yeah, because this seems like it's like vines come up
Out of the ground,
out of the ground,
grab
grab
your
you, and
feet.
pull you in,
Yeah.
straight in.
That's
Like it's not
what he's
a
going at.
reaches up and
Yeah,
grabs
yeah.
something that's flying and pulls it down.
Yeah.
But then again, that also just means that this thing just dies to one flying character.
I think that's what it's meant to, because the only thing that looks like it can actually hit a flying thing at the moment is the claw attack.
Yeah.
I think because every creature has a weakness in the end.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'd all be the Trask.
Well, that's true.
And the Trask has its weaknesses, but it's not very generic that you can find it all if your DM doesn't present it. And I think that flying characters would have the greatest opportunity against this. It is gargantuan, so it's actually able to fight those flying characters because if characters don't want to go.
Up.
Yeah, but if they keep going up, there is a chance of something happening. I don't know, picks up a rock and pegs it, and it comes down and dies. Yeah, I should change it because I didn't want it grabbing a flying character and making them fall damage to literally what I just said. I think what you should say, I can't say flat-footed because that's a 3.5 thing.
Oh, well, why don't you just give it one more lair action for 1 point that allows it to...
You mean legendary?
Legendary action that allows it to send a vine up to a flying creature for like some non-one number of points.
But this is gargantuan. Do you know how long that vine has to be? Like, it's massive.
Or allow it to take one out of itself.
No, I'm just trying to think of a way that he can word this so it just says everything on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's why I said I can't say flat-footed for those pesky.
You just say that is on the ground.
Yeah, but originally the wall was supposed to be like a dome around for this. Yeah, but if you did that, that's like
trapping
everyone, and it's like all hope is gone. The flyer is meant to be like because
the one hope.
There's two classes I see that do really well against this currently, and this is what you need. You need that one or two classes to do really well against it.
Mm-hmm.
Number one would be any caster that has access to fly.
Yeah.
Because the caster is going to be the big daddy for this. They lose to every other check of this, so if they get hit once, they're gone.
They're just gone.
And the other class would be a barbarian. But another thing is that they're going to pass those strengths. They're going to help everyone out, but they're going to spend their whole time doing that instead
making
of
sure
doing
everyone
the
else
attacks.
isn't dead.
Yeah. So they go from the DPS to the support. Wait until you get to the lair actions then. All right.
I feel like a paladin might do all right with this as well, as long as everyone
strength, yeah.
As long as everyone sticks around them, because they essentially
I think a bard also helps as well.
Yeah, but it's like a +5 to all saving throws.
And that's true. All right, so 100% change reclaim the land to a charge attack. Not even doing anything.
That'd be so terrifying. Just having the players not know if it's recharged or not.
Yeah. Also have join the wild hunt. Make that a part of consume.
Yeah.
So that way it just finishes off consume.
And if you want to have a third legendary action, just give it a move action.
Yeah, that's always a good one. That it always makes combat interesting when things have a move action.
Yeah.
Maul the Forest. Just change the radius to 30 foot because otherwise it just becomes too hard as a DM to sometimes track all this information, and also for players as well, it becomes very
and it being 150 feet just says, all right, everyone is now dying from this point on.
And add action cost, because it does maintain on how many you can use.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about it.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get to lair actions now. Okay. When fighting inside the lair, can evoke an ambient magic to their lair. On initiative, count 20, losing initiative ties. The monster can take one lair action, cause one of the following effects. Yeah, so this is generally...
That's how lair actions work,
they always work like this. So with this, you get to pick one of them, and that's just, I'm pretty sure that's it. Once you pick one, then it's one and done for the lair action, right? Because...
No, it happens on initiative count 20.
Yeah. But you get to pick, like, one, and it happens, right? That's what I'm saying. It happens at the start of the lair, and the condition happens. Okay.
I haven't used lair actions ever, but I think the way that they work is that they It might be around by like a X rounds in, it gets a layer action, then X more rounds in, it gets a layer action at initiative count 20. It's not every single round though.
Yeah. A dense acid fog covers the area 1 mile radius. Jeez, how big is this lair?
Wind doesn't move it. What?
I'm guessing it'd be I guess it'd just be like the forest, the Feywilds.
Yeah.
Does not, the wind does not move it.
So it can't be dispersed.
Nightmarish. No, you can't use gust or something.
Yeah.
A nightmarish outline seems to move through. Creatures that are not the thing or its allies of it are blinded. Senses that are not visual are reduced by 10 feet. The creature takes.
That's horrifying. So a lair action should be somewhat avoidable.
Generally, I think the whole wind doesn't move it thing.
Yeah. It should be able to be dispelled by a strong wind.
Yeah.
And that's your way of avoiding it.
And that means also like the wizard has to use a spell to cast gust.
Yeah. And it should take the 2d4 acid damage on the end of their turn specifically.
Yeah.
That way, if a character does actually have access to something that can produce a strong wind, they have to use their turn to disperse this fog, which essentially wastes one player turn. And because this doesn't take any action of the creature, and so all that's happening is you go, cool, one of you loses a turn here.
Yeah. Also, not just that too. I think the senses that are not visual reduced by 10 foot. I think that's a like ridiculous amount. I think that just doesn't need to be in there. If you make them blinded.
Oh, blinded's insane.
Yeah, blinded itself is just nuts. But I think what you could do instead of blinded is just say, oh no, because doing it like their vision's cut in half is also just enough math that it's just annoying to figure it out all the time.
You could just say that they have vision restricted to 10 feet.
Yeah.
That way there's no
Like
math. It just it's like a fog of war where you just, the character can now only see 2 squares in any direction.
Yeah. Because I think if you do that layer action, because remember, like D&D isn't that I throw this thing and you can't beat it. Everything in the game is meant to be beatable.
Yeah.
Otherwise the play is just, what's the point of playing it? I think with the first ability of the layer action, which is very strong, it's ridiculously strong, because if you blind characters, then that means they don't see it. They get disadvantage on all their attacks, which is DC 25. It gets advantage on them, which is killing them. Like, they will die in the first round from like all this stuff. They can't they'll get grabbed. I'm pretty sure the athletics check will also have disadvantage.
No.
No?
No, not from blinded.
Only...
It's just attack rolls.
Okay. But I think it's like unbelievably strong. Oh, don't they have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws?
Maybe Dex. This doesn't do anything with Dex anyway, though. So
no, but any ability check that requires sight.
Yeah.
And attack rolls against a creature have disadvantage. Yeah. I think that's really strong. Like, it's strong enough that alone will kill your players.
Oh yeah.
I said blinded because the acidic fog. Yeah, you are correct. It would burn their eyes.
I would reduce. I would reduce sight to 10 foot.
Yeah, because it then becomes
or even a 5 foot, like whatever.
It then becomes them like squinting. Because otherwise, if they're blinded, they're permanently blinded.
Think like when you are in a dense fog, you can see your hand in front of your face,
but
you might not be able to see someone standing. You know.
Well, I think
3 steps up.
I think what he's getting at is the fact of the acid of it.
Yeah.
My question is, why is it
It's
acid?
also debilitating.
Because this is the first thing that's come up about acid, except for the like stomach.
Yeah.
So is it like being dispelled from its stomach? Because I think 1 mile is.
Oh, 1 mile is insane.
I think it should be like a radius of where it's standing. I think that's
Anything
when.
standing within 15 foot of it.
No, I don't think 15. 15 is too low. That becomes an ability. It's a lair action.
I mean, it is huge. It's gargantuan. So 15 foot in every direction from it still encompasses a really, really large area.
Sat pollen and such. Okay. So that's where it's coming from. It's coming from the wildlife that's been corrupted around it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll revisit that in a moment. Just want to read the other ones. So the Wild Hunt pulls on the power of the forest, increasing the thickness of the walls by an extra 10 foot. So I'm guessing
this is for more of the forest.
Yeah. Increasing its by 10 foot. Its radius is reduced by 10 foot. Its height is increased by 10 foot. So it's getting higher and thicker.
Yeah. Because it's coming in.
Yeah.
But it's going up.
This can be used additional time on its turns, but consumes its movement for the rest of the turn. Okay. So that's fair. Has a downside to it. If the wall reaches the center of it, it absorbs the life essence of the fauna, regains max hit points. Ooh. The wall then crumbles into dust. Okay, so that's how you get rid of it. That's what you're talking about.
That's why it's 150 feet as well.
Lock Live, welcome to the live stream. Glad to have you here. It's been a long time, man. Haven't spoken to you in a little bit.
Yeah, that's why it's 150 feet as well, because it comes in by 10 foot every time.
You're just joining in right now. What we're overviewing is I can't read his name here. Is it
Brubel.
Brubel. Brubel has sent us his own little end game,
little big
terrifying thing, and we're just going over it and seeing the pros and cons and what he should move. And well, it's not what he should do whatever he wants to, but it's just our opinion on it. Yeah. So it starts to absorb the more. That's what
it creates.
So should that mean that instead of the radius should just be centered on it, because it gets rid of its movement. So that means that
it probably should be centered on it.
And it makes it hard for the melees to like run in and do the attacks.
In that case, I guess you could make a dexterity saving throw at the start of the creature's turn while it's in it to take 2d4.
Mad, do you know what I just thought of because of that? So let's say you have it centered on you.
On it, yeah.
Yeah, let's say you have it centered on it, right? That maul of the forest. And then what you can do, which is mad, don't make them take damage for when they travel through it. Just when they end their turn in it, if they're okay.
Make it difficult terrain.
But what you could do is make a dexterity. You make them make a dexterity saving throw, and if they get caught, they're now trapped and they're getting pulled towards the middle of it, getting absorbed. Like the vines.
That also seems very save or suck and just die.
Oh, well, it takes turns. It's only being reduced by 10 foot, so you increase the radius over. I think you can make it a 50-foot radius.
What if you're playing the barbarian that's now standing at it, just like hacking away at its leg?
No. You only do it once.
Yeah, but you're now 5 foot from its leg, right?
Yeah.
And if you nat one your saving throw, and so you get caught in it this one time, it uses its action to pull everything in 10 foot. You now are within it.
Yeah, well, I think like the 10 foot there should be a way you should like account the leg and stuff.
Just make it not do damage.
This is 6 foot.
Yeah.
And then it's here. So then like if you go down and then it moves up like 10 foot, you're still not near the middle of it. I think it should be like 10 foot from like its stomach, but it's weird to like.
That's so hard to track. Though.
Yeah.
What you could do is take away the damage. Like have everything as it is on More of the Forest. Take away the damage and just make a character within the radius make a dexterity saving throw or have their speed reduced to 0 for the turn.
Yeah. I just like the idea of like inevitable
in.
doom, and you're like getting pulled in with it.
That's kind of what happens when it pulls them all in, though. It just goes straight up to 700 HP. You don't need to also auto-kill the characters. You just go, right, now everything you've done to it is for naught.
There is one thing I think you should add to this, but I'm not gonna bring it up now. But I think it is a good thing to add because right now everything is in its advantage, and it doesn't really. We've named 2 weaknesses that aren't weaknesses. So I'll get to that in a moment. So when the Wild Hunt Reclaimer lets out its call of the hunt, pulling on the feral nature.
On the feral nature of creatures.
Is that feral?
Bound.
It's cut off. Yeah. Feral nature of creatures bound to it, with a deep, reverberating, crushing roar. All creatures must make a DC 25 Wisdom save. This is what I wanted to see too, because I haven't really seen you do a Wisdom save yet, and this is like heavily Wisdom.
High Wisdom.
Yeah, so I'm glad to see this now. That's also another thing about the D10 thing you rolled, so I'll get to you on that one in a second as well.
Will begin raging and take 3d8 plus 10 thunder damage.
Okay, yeah, that
and
makes
is
sense.
deafened.
And they're deafened. On a successful save, they take half and do not rage. Oh, they become raging, like the player characters.
Yeah.
Allies always raging are immune to the call to hunt damage. I'm confused on that last one. What?
Yeah, what? I don't understand what the rage is.
Yeah, it's because it hasn't been mentioned. So what does the rage do, or is it just like a status ability that just gives them immunity to it?
Oh, look, it's fine for this to be unbalanced. Like, that's why we're having a look at it. Like, we've done this a lot, so we're we just want to kind of help out and see if we can find a way that we can make this like really fun for you to run for people. Like, this seems like a really cool.
Yeah, it's a very, very good concept. One thing I do want to ask as well. It's like a barbarian's rage. Okay.
It's got caster's concentration spells. Oh my god, that's really mean.
So, one thing is that here at the bottom, the monster can't repeat an effect until all have been used, and it can't use them the same 2 effects in a row. So just when it resets, you can't use the same one. One thing you haven't put down is the dense fog does not have a time limit, and it never goes away. So once you use that, it's one and done. Yeah, it's like kind of one and done, right? And then that's a waste of a turn. Do you also get layer actions every turn?
Yeah, I was gonna say that as well, because if you get layer actions every turn and you're trying to make that last thing so that it can't continue to pull inwards, it's taking 15 turns for it to pull it all the way to itself. Because it's 150 feet, so it would need to use 15 layer actions to.
I thought layer actions always just happened at the start of the whole thing.
No, you can. That's why things have multiple layer actions. I can't 100% remember how they work.
Well, that one doesn't have. The Terras doesn't have any layer actions because it doesn't have a layer.
Yeah.
Go to a dragon. Dragons.
I'm going to see if it.
Dragons always have layer actions.
Oh, I was going to see if it's got a thing for layer actions. Yeah. Dragons, 86.
Yeah, dragons always have layer actions.
Yeah. Ancient blue dragon.
Yeah, there you go. Nope, on the actual reading page of what a ancient blue dragon is.
Okay. So on initiative count 20, the dragon takes a layer action to cause one of the following effects. The dragon can't use the same effect 2 rounds in a row. That's all it says. Okay, so it happens every turn. Every round. So the thing is that layer actions usually aren't unavoidable. So, all right, let's have a look at the layer action for a black dragon that does the range thing, which is going on with the acidic fog.
Yeah.
It pools of water that the dragon can see within 120 feet, so it is a really large area. Surge outward in a grasping tide. Any creature on the ground within 20 feet of such a pool must succeed on a DC 15 strength saving throw or be pulled up to 20 foot into the water and knocked prone.
Yeah.
It doesn't deal any damage on that extremely large effect.
The acid.
It also only happens right now and then it stops.
Yeah.
So it can pull something 20 foot and knock them prone at the start of initiative count 20.
Yeah.
That means that if the dragon is initiative count 19, this happens, then the dragon goes, and any attack it'll make on anything that was knocked prone previously, it'll now have advantage on.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that creature now needs to use half its movement to get up and get back into the fight.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do any damage on the
last one does.
Well, the second one does.
Yeah.
It doesn't do any damage on the large area of effect thing, and it's also just an immediate effect that then ends. Which dense fog that blinds
for a mile, by the way. Like,
for a mile.
That's a
it seems like it being fog and it blinding sort of reads to me like it sticks around.
Yeah.
You could have it it create even not an acidic fog, just make it create a fog or it sprays a weak acid that causes them to make a saving throw or be blinded until the start of the next turn. If you want to go the blinded route, I feel like makes sense. Its damaging one then works in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point that the dragon chooses within 120 feet of it. So it's only a 20-foot radius that it actually affects.
Yep.
They get a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or take 3d6 piercing damage.
Yeah.
So this one sticks around, and a creature that ends its turn in the cloud also takes, again, 3d6 piercing damage. So it's a smaller area of effect of the thing that's dealing damage. So I feel like...
Well, it does acid, doesn't it?
Piercing.
Okay.
So this one is...
the insects. Yeah.
Swarming insects. Then its third action is Magical Darkness. Within 60 feet of it, a 15-foot radius.
Yeah. So a part of the reason I made this is to Monster 2 is because I feel like the Trask is just a big dumb dinosaur and it's boring. You are correct.
You are very correct.
So I have the ability to just print a Trask whenever I want, throw any of my games I could all the time. But I don't want to run the thing. The thing is very boring, it's very overhyped, and it's just literally going to be a party kill. There is no, we outsmarted it, because you're not prepared for it, ever. And for you to have those, for a wizard to have those spells prepared, you have to know what's coming.
I don't know, Polymorph is a pretty easy spell to just have on your
but
person.
again, if you're going to throw a Taras, that's more or less like the end thing. There's nothing else you're going to throw.
It could be an end thing, but it's so easy to kill. That's the problem. It's just so easy to kill.
Well, according to a lot of people, it's not.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, yeah,
but you are right.
You're
it
right.
Is a very boring creature to do this.
But the thing is about this creature here is it has some really cool and terrifying abilities, which does make it different. But there is a massive downside, is that we're not finding ways that we can do this as like general players.
Yeah.
It feels like if we're going to do this, we have to build our characters to fight this thing.
Yes.
And that is from starting at level 1.
You just need some very, very, very specific characters on your team to be able to get out of specific things.
Yeah.
And you need some other very specific characters to be able to deal with, like, either distracting it or dealing damage to it while the rest of the party basically just survives.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm pretty sure someone just rated us. Thank you for rating us. We're the Technical Difficulties Podcast. We're a D&D podcast that we talk about whatever we want, whenever we want. I'm Blake Ignatius, and this
I
is...
am Jacob Smith.
So how you going? Right now, we are overviewing a custom-made creature sent by one of the actual viewers that is making this as a challenge rating 30, like a big bad guy that he's created. And
Basically, as a Tarrasque alternative that's not the big dumb monster that Tarrasque is.
which has really cool abilities, and we're just trying to figure it out. So yeah, we're D&D channel that does a lot of things. Alright, so welcome everybody, welcome. So yeah, we do this every Tuesday, every Monday if you're interested in watching this stuff as well. We also run live D&D games on Wednesday and Friday. Oh, you're an Aussie group too. How you going?
Nice.
We're from Sydney, so it's very late right now. And we started this late. We usually do this at 8:30.
Yeah.
So, did you guys just finish up some D&D or something? Because I'm not too sure. It didn't really tell me. One of my monitors is not working right now, so fantastic. Aussie lads, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, so look, I'm liking this monster. Ruby. I'm loving it. I think it's really, really interesting. There's just some abilities on here that are just a little bit too strong. That's it.
Yeah, mad.
Playing a grung. Which one's a grung again? Am I thinking?
Well, let's all look at it.
I think I'm thinking of the right thing.
Well, we're on my normal one. Let's go here. If you also like to know, tonight we were figuring out a way that we're going to do a Wheel of Fortune on building classes.
Yes.
So,
Or building characters in general.
where he has to spin a wheel and he has conditions on everything he's going to do.
Yeah. And it's not for optimized characters. This
No.
is for characters that you can build to have fun with.
Oh, I wanted to see a photo of what it looked like.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
It is what I was thinking.
yeah, that's mad.
Amazing. Is this... Yeah, Froggy. He's 2 feet tall.
Oh, you just answered my question. Your name is Froggy? Matt, what color?
Also,
I'm gonna judge you on the color. That's all. So
is this a homebrew race that you're doing it as?
Oh no.
Is there a way to play this?
Yeah, I think they're just.
What?
If they're using D&D Beyond, I'm pretty sure D&D Beyond actually provides the stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
So yeah. So
His name is Scuba.
Scoop. Oh, holy. It's like Scuba Steve of Big Daddy.
I should make the monster summon feral Bergens from the servo.
Oh my god!
No, please don't. I already like the monster as is. Don't make it summon feral Bergens from the servo.
Oh wait, are you Australian?
It would seem so.
You said two very Aussie words.
Oh yeah.
That means you're also up at 1:45.
Yeah, that's fine. As for color, he changes his color with prestidigitation to suit his mood. But what's his natural color?
Oh, maybe that's like the thing that no one.
It doesn't actually know its natural color anymore.
I'm from the US, but
sticks around.
I knew you'd appreciate. I do very much appreciate what you said. The fact that you said that so spot on. That is a traditional Aussie sentence, and you said that so spot on. It's not even funny.
You can normally pick people out that are just kind of throwing the words in, and that was just.
Oh, I didn't pick that out.
I didn't.
No, because I was about to question him. I'm like, why are you saying 1 mile?
Yeah.
if you were you were Australian.
No, but it's
just how
it is mile in universe. Yeah.
Oh,
it is feet miles.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Damo and Darren. Mad. Alright, so for those watching as well, this is what we did. So what he does he has 3 wheels he spins. The first wheel will always show what class he does.
For a main class.
Yeah.
That will come up in the next wheel.
Yeah. So that spins, and then he picks a class. Well, he doesn't pick it.
So-
It lands on a class. So he'd be doing
Totally.
a druid. And then the next one he'd be doing is also
A condition.
a condition. And this is what he has to follow on it. So everything adds more. And when we do our live stream sessions and stuff like that, he'll actually add suggestions from you guys onto them, and they will add to the YouTube that we have. So it
Like,
landed.
make it as horrible as possible. I
Yeah.
like a challenge.
So ASI is
ASI's only. Only ability score increases. I can't take any feats, is basically what that means. There is a second one that is feats only, which means I cannot increase any of my scores outside of feats.
and then he also has the race picker, which
Yep.
just also changes like what he's allowed to go through because it's point buy that you're doing it off.
Yes.
So that means that he has to do this stuff, and it's all random. But that's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
But enough of that. Let's get back into what we're talking about here. All right? Because this is kind of just taking the whole episode. We're going to upload this to YouTube, and this is what the episode is.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It was meant to be.
Wait a minute. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. Are you the same player that sent us the maps that you made on Incarnate?
Ooh.
Possibly.
I kind of forgot we got some of those through.
Yeah. I'm just thinking if he was the first one to do it for us. Because I'm kind of remembering that this is before we had the bot, and then he could just post it in the chat.
Yeah. We didn't have to go around the world for all this.
Yeah. God, it's everywhere. So, anyway, there was something I wanted to point out on this as well that would make it a bit better, just adds a more aspect to that. I'm just trying to remember what it was. Yeah. So, what I believe is that I completely forgot.
I was waiting for one.
Yeah, I lost my track of mind. What I was gonna think about. I wanted to do more with the wisdom because that is its biggest stat.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to this layer action, this last one here. So the thing that it does to make them rage, this is already dealing 3d8 plus 10 thunder damage, which will already cause a Constitution saving throw
Oh yeah, and that's already
for
gonna be
concentration.
massive.
So this is already going to make a decently large
Minimum 10.
concentration saving throw on the casters.
Yeah.
So if you have
Actually, minimum
someone that's just kind of
13.
flying, then they're gonna have to try and
Yeah.
maintain their concentration. So I don't think you need to auto cancel concentration,
Yeah.
because every 3 rounds you're gonna come back to this. At least every 3 rounds.
What I
You can
think
come back
would
to
be
it.
a good thing is that you don't make it you make the rage ability go towards the
The creature.
allies.
Ah,
So they
I'll
get
make
rage.
rage. Yeah.
So they get half damage done and they get the extra plus. Just make it a minimum rage because otherwise that becomes like a lot to deal
So
with.
it kind of makes it a battle cry.
Yeah.
Allies are empowered by it by getting basically a barbarian's rage.
Yeah, and
Like even just like a level 1 rage.
yeah. And
Just
that's a
plus 2
lot.
to damage, blah blah.
Plus 2 to damage on like 20
Yeah,
of the things.
I wouldn't make it a higher
That's
level rage.
That's 40 guaranteed damage on just one hit, if they hit.
What do you mean?
Because
Guaranteed.
yeah, like added. So to 20 of those enemies that raged,
Oh,
they
yeah,
get that
yeah,
plus 2,
yeah.
and it is a massive damage.
Yeah. So
output.
it would just be a level 1 rage. So all the allies get basically a level 1 barbarian's rage, but all the enemies of the monster, so all the player characters, have a DC 25 wisdom saving throw or take 3d8 plus 10 thunder
Yeah.
damage.
One thing I'm going to check here is that I don't think I checked. I can't check the live. Great.
What?
I was going to check if I put chat actually over the actual the chat wall.
I can't remember.
Like if I laid it.
That is a
properly.
good question.
I don't know. We did it 10 minutes before we started this.
Yeah, we really did just set this up immediately before.
Well, look, all I'm going to say is this. You have something on your hands that you're doing really well,
Yeah.
small changes,
Little
and
tweaks.
I'm just gonna put this out to everybody who's never made something, especially as high CR as this,
Yeah.
right? Is that when you do this by yourself, there's a massive difference between you making this and Wizard of the Coast making this. Wizard of the Coast, you make an enemy and it goes through 20 other people before it makes its round back to you.
Yeah.
And when you make something by yourself, there's always going to be stuff. I suck at
There's
spelling.
always stuff that you're going to overlook.
Yeah,
is the point.
I suck at spelling, and
Yeah.
I get all the time. They're like, "Oh, by the way, Blake, you didn't do this and you didn't do that." I'm like, "Oh crap!" I'm gonna go in. But there's also times I make certain items, and I talk to him, and I talk to other players about it, and then we always go over.
For just the balancing reasons, it's so hard to make something on your own and not filter it through someone else that's not got anything to do with the actual creation step.
Yeah.
Because if they have something to do with the creation step, then they now are already in the same mindset as you.
Yeah.
You have to kind of go to someone else after you've done it and go, okay, tell me what's overpowered in this, or tell me what's underpowered in this even.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So right now you're giving this to us. We're giving our honest opinion about it, and you can take what you want from it. If you enjoy the way it is, then run it the way it is. Your
100%.
players might be used to this gameplay style, and you have a way in your mind that you're going to run it compared to the way we're going to run it. Like, I might have something else in my mind, and then he has something else in his mind. Like, I reckon that that second layer action, I want it to like grab the players and pull it in.
Yeah.
And he thinks that's overpowered. But we would run it differently. That's how we're going to do it.
And that's 100% how this game should be played too. You don't want to sit down at every single table and have everything happen exactly the same. Yeah. If it does, then I mean, like, where do you have to get creative?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can get creative with like the combinations of things that you use, but if you're able to get creative with the actual game mechanics, that's when things get really fun.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Game mechanics always make it interesting. Every time I make a big bad guy for any stage of our campaigns that I do, I generally always want there to be some form of game mechanic. Like when you versed the Tiefling Barbarian who was on top of the building, a tower, like getting ready to like get this orb casted to do this like magic crap. I can't remember what it is by now. And then all it took was one arrow to trigger the lair action, which was destroy the building.
Was I in this?
Yeah, Vargas. So you
Vargas?
were the druid. So you like made all the...
it was because they disturbed him during his monologue, and that's why everything broke.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a lair action. He used an action to hit the ground. He did.
But that was like a mechanic that I put in the game, and I was like, oh crap, we got to jump, we got to survive the fall.
Because I remember you saying, you were like, okay, if you didn't stop his monologue, he wouldn't have taken this action.
No, but it was a if they do this, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And
the trigger was, do they stop me from monologuing? Which I loved. That was awesome. That's not a mechanic you will ever see written down.
And the thing is that I build all my terrain.
Yes.
And on our YouTube channel, I actually show you how to build terrain out of, for Aussies as well, the best ways to build it for cheap. Instead of, 3D printing. I have 3D printers, but I generally build stuff. So, and show you Australian products that you can generally get at Bunnings or other places that you can get, which Bunnings is like Home Depot for America, I'm pretty sure. Get yourself a Bunnings snag.
That's right. He knows Damo and Darren. He knows some feral bogans from the servo. Like he'll understand what a Bunnings is.
He won't understand a Bunnings snag, unfortunately, which is just you have to be there.
Well, he'll understand what a Bunnings snag is.
Yeah. Anyway, so the one thing is that when it comes to that is that I built 2 different arenas. Yeah. I built the one where they didn't interrupt the monologue and one where they did. Yeah. And it was like broken and all that stuff. So I found that quite fun to run.
I think that was my favorite part about that fight was that it hinged on, did we interrupt your monologue?
Yeah.
Like, thinks of that?
I do, because I knew someone was going to do it, but I didn't think it was the person that actually
did it. Yeah.
Because I thought it was going to be one of our other players who's dumb. Like, he's real dumb.
And just, like, actually just looks at the situation and goes, nah, but it'd be funny, and just does it.
Yeah.
And everyone just looks at them and goes, no, please don't. Please take it back. He's giving you an opportunity. He's like, no, I'm doing it.
But nope.
It was not that character.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually going to grab one of the pieces and I'm going to show you for the Aussies.
Sure.
That's nothing against you guys in America. You always have better building material than we do. Right?
After reading the rest of this stat block, this regeneration that, like, I kind of looked at and went, this just seems, like, I know it's not a lot, but it just seems really daunting.
It's huge.
No, but, like, it just doesn't seem that bad anymore. This creature's terrifying.
So, for any Aussies that are watching and they want to know how to build stuff and whatnot, I do teach it. At the current point in time, I'm teaching you how to build with, like, styrofoam that you can get at Spotlight or any, like, $2 store. And that's just for normal generic stuff and how to do it properly to the point where it doesn't bubble everywhere. But I also build, like, this stuff. And this is all Australian ordered and made material. That doesn't cost you a lot because you get so much out of it. And,
This is my favorite building that he's built. Just 100%.
just because it's structurally.
It's so... Oh, it's so aesthetically pleasing.
So, I teach you how to do this type of stuff. This will be in the more advanced videos for it anyway, using Australian materials. And in America, when you watch these, you'll find the materials just down the road at your grocery store. Apparently.
Yeah.
Where Australia, we're not that well.
We're not that lucky.
No. Also, yeah. So, this has been all over the place.
Oh, it always is.
So, okay. So the Wild Reclaimer, you're on a good track. I think the health is fine.
Yeah.
The AC is
I
fine.
can actually compare that. Health of a Tarrasque is 676.
Yeah, it's literally
It's literally
20
negligible difference.
no difference. I think you can just get rid of, like, unconscious because incapacitated and all that stuff cover that. Because again, as he pointed out, no one's ever casting sleep
Yeah.
at 700.
Yeah. If they can figure out a way to knock this thing unconscious outside of reducing its hit points, just let him do it. Like,
Its con is already through the roof and everything.
Yeah.
I think what you should do, though, to make it easier for the players is actually down its charisma. Because it doesn't look like something that's very charismatic.
yeah.
I think the charisma
it ain't
should be,
okay.
I guess, like, it should have at least one stat that is a neg.
Um,
Well, what does it... Oh, God, you keep
Dex.
closing it.
No, I'm holding it.
Oh,
Dex.
Dex
oh
is-
no,
no, intelligence.
Intelligence is at a 3.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be at a 3. I think, like, an 8 is fine. It just makes it low. Because it
Yeah.
already gets advantage.
Well, like this thing, it could be the Dex. Look at it. Look at how it stands. Like it doesn't. It like
it doesn't look nimble.
It's bipedal
Yeah.
and it's
strong.
huge.
Yeah, it's very strong.
So like, I feel like it's gotta take a lot of its effort to keep itself upright.
Yeah.
So if you
Well, that
if you
makes
dump
sense.
its Dex more,
Yeah.
then it just gives it one weak stat that can be targeted, which you generally want.
Yeah. And as if you're going to try and make this thing prone.
Yeah. You're not
Because
gonna.
it's so... That would be so difficult to do.
That's it.
So...
You could even just give it immunity to the prone condition at that point. Give it immunity to the prone condition, that way you can't use the dex save or fall prone
Yeah.
on it. But you can still target its dex saves.
Yeah.
Which means that you can fireball it. Let's be honest. That's
You
what it
could
means.
fireball it.
Um,
Oh, no, that's what I wanted to bring up too.
What?
Is the fact that you should have, and this is like a condition thing you can do, that it's already hard enough to hit.
Yes.
Generally, when people get high level, the fire spells kind of phase out, except for Meteor Storm
And fireball.
and Fireball, right? And Fireball's not going to do much to this thing.
I don't know.
Like if you cast it high
8d6
level.
at level 3.
Yeah, but
It's still
comparing
just
it to
really
like
good.
Meteor Storm.
Yeah.
Every time they're casting Meteor Storm. Was that you give it the same condition that a flesh golem has actually, which I believe is good. Because you
Because
have
the
so many
heal.
you have so many other actions to do besides a claw attack. And
What are we talking about with the flesh golem?
this is what I'm talking about
Not
with
the
Flesh
heal.
Golem. Because it is a Feywild, it's all about the Fey and all that stuff. Is that a Flesh Golem has an ability that works against it, but it makes it very interesting in the playstyle it does. Because only if you have this certain
I'd be under G, wouldn't it, for golem?
flesh. Oh, is it just under Golem?
Yeah.
I
Pretty sure.
well,
It's genie,
gibbering Gith
goblin,
Golem.
golem.
Yep, Flesh Golem.
Yeah.
Mad. So it has aversion to fire, flame. If the golem takes fire damage, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the end of its next turn.
Ah, gotcha.
So that means
it gives it
for
a
a round,
stat that you can, a damage type that you can target it with that makes it weaker.
yeah. And most people phase out fire because when you get to a higher level,
Everything's either immune or
yeah, and fire just a lot of people
resistant.
just kind of go against fire because
Yeah.
fire just seems like the easiest one. It also has magic resistance, so it has a high chance.
yeah,
But it just means like the simple like burning the forest.
yeah,
It has a flavor whip.
yeah. Because this is meant to be something that comes about as the forest is.
Yeah, you've been destroying the forest, so
Yeah.
I'm coming to like get you. You've been doing just living has been just fucking
Yeah.
the Feywilds. So
So you can like burn it in the same way that you burnt the forests to hurt it.
which is not a great message.
It's not, but
But-
it's flavor.
Exactly. So yeah, if you that is 100% a flavor win. It is the one of the only things that actually gives the players a way to win
Yes.
without going to go through everything and try and change too much of it. You add that one other ability onto it, and it just becomes
Yeah.
yeah.
It helps the players. You want to give them something that they can actually target
Yeah, exactly.
to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, you're going really well. You're doing it as far as we can tell, right? There are two people here
I can't
that
remember
are
this thing.
like looking at stuff. I can 3D print it if you want.
Alright. Go.
For anyone else that's in chat, does anyone else have something that they've created and they wanna show and have us like not review? We're not a review channel.
We're not a review channel, but like
Not like take a look at because
It's
this
nice.
episode was 100% about making his thing, but
Oh, it
I'm
was meant
guessing
to be.
we've already like built it in our brain.
Yeah.
So it's no longer. It's been taken over by chat.
oh 100%.
Oh, it got
I'm
taken over.
100% okay with it being taken over by
It got
chat.
took over by chat. I think like 2 hours ago.
Oh yeah. Easily.
Welcome to the
We-
podcast.
we-
This happens all the time. So that is. But he didn't answer my question from earlier.
What level?
No, if he was the person that did the
the map.
incarnate map,
The maps. Yep.
I can't remember.
Oh well. Guess we'll never know.
No, I think I'm gonna actually look that up. So
Anyway, that was the Wild Hunt Reclaimer though.
it was. I'm on the wrong
Cool
thing again.
creature.
It's a very cool creature. So to do. Well, did you have any other things that you wanted to add to that? Actually,
To
the Wild Hunt Reclaimer.
I don't think so. I think we covered it all.
Yeah.
I like how it's going. I think it needs a few minor changes just to make it not TPK everything all the time. But yeah, I think it's a real flavor win. I know we keep saying that, but anyone that knows anything about me knows that I am all for flavor.
No, he was somebody else.
Okay.
So it wasn't him. Okay. I was just wondering if that was him or not. Alright. Well, It is getting pretty late in Australia, as everyone's kind of
Yes.
figured that out. And some people have to work. I have the day off tomorrow, so
I do not.
No, you don't. So you got to get ready and do your living.
Yes.
But thank you for the raid once again, and let's give them a follow.
And thanks for joining chat and taking over the talks that we've had, because it is really nice to be able to
dreaded GM. Yeah.
It's really nice to just be able to chat with all of you and have this be
Well, the podcast is a lot
the point of a podcast. Like, it's nice to do our normal chats as we do, but whenever chat gets involved, it's really it's a nice thing.
It's always a nice thing. And it's not saying we never have a chat group, but it is always nice for new people to come in and watch and always chat in. And Brugly, did I say that right?
Brutal?
He knows who I'm talking about. That's him. Thank you for showing us your
monster?
Your monster. The Wild Hunt Reclaimer. It's pretty fantastic. Yeah. That caught us attention immediately. But it just means that it gave us content.
Ooh, did that have... Is it still up? Yes.
Yeah, it's still
up. It is chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are you going?
I don't know where the rest of it was.
Yeah.
Okay, I was curious about it for London, because it's meant to be when things... like when people destroy the forest.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, ooh, is this like actually an evil fae?
I think it's meant to be I think the way I think he's decided is meant to be like Krampus.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you all for joining us. We're gonna find someone else that we can raid and spread the love to, okay? Alrighty. So if you guys want to catch our podcast, we do it every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern
Standard Time.
Thank you. And then we also do 2 different live D&Ds with 2 different groups. One on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. at the exact same thing he said, and then one on Friday at 8:30 p.m. And if you want to see more content and stuff that we do, just click our YouTube channel, give us a subscription if you don't want. I don't really mind. Alright. So yeah, thank you guys. We'll find someone else to raid. If you guys have a suggestion, drop them into the chat now. If you don't, we will find somebody else who doesn't have a high subscription count to spread the love. Alright, or viewer count, that one. Alright. So thank you again. Alright, and bye.
Bye.
Catch you next time. I said that too early.
You did. I was waiting for you to look for the raider first.
Anyway, bye.
Yeah.
Over a century ago, a demon lord from the Nine Hells rained terror upon the world of Astraven in an attempt to create a 10th layer of hell, until an unlikely group of adventurers made a choice to stand in his way and defy his will. But not all was saved. A once simple way of life destroyed by his ambition, and the drowned, hated by everyone for their part in the terror that happened a century ago. The world left scarred, races divided. The world has new threats, and I guess you can say, a new story.